I mean, what else am I gonna say? He's free. But all jokes aside, Harumasa is the newest unit as of 1.4 in Zenless Zone 0, and he is a blast. He's a very stylish unit that's a breath of fresh air for the game. For your traces, focus on basic, dodge, and ultimate. You can also upgrade skill if you want, but it's not necessary. Also, check out my Discord server. I made it so I can get to know my community a little more and answer any questions that you guys may have. Whether it's builds or more in-depth character questions, or you just want to say hi, I'm just a ping away. Now, on with the video. The crit rate of his dash attack is scaled up by a percentage when you upgrade his passive. Whenever your dash attack crits, you get a stack of Gleaming Edge up to 6 times. These stacks last for 5 seconds. I will explain how his dash attack works later in the basics section. His team passive is pretty flexible and must be activated. The following buffs will be granted if another character in your squad is an anomaly or stunned unit. When Harumasa's attacks hit a stunned enemy or are under an anomaly effect, his damage increases by 40%. Additionally, when Falling Feather hits stunned or anomaly affected enemies, it will apply 2 stacks of Electro Prison. Harumasa is an electric attack unit that specializes in dash attacks. Harumasa has a 5-hit combo with the final attack applying 2 stacks of Electro Quiver. Other moves such as your chain attack, EX special, and even anomaly procs from other teammates can apply stacks of Electro Quiver. After Electro Quiver is activated, you can hit enemies with Falling Feather to shoot the Electro Quiver at enemies. Falling Feather is activated by either holding your basic attack at any time or holding your special button after certain actions. Once an enemy is hit by your Electro Quiver, the enemy will be marked with Electro Prison up to 8 times. Marked enemies will have a glowing X on them. Hitting enemies with at least 2 stacks of Electro Prison with Falling Feather gives Harumasa the Awakened State. While in the Awakened State, Harumasa's dash attacks are enhanced and now perform combos. When you dash attack a marked enemy, you consume the Electro Prison stacks until you finish the combo. You'll also notice that when you try to aim in, Harumasa attacks with his first basic, then he aims in. To work around that, I usually hold my basic attacks button before the animation of his attacks end. I would also like to mention that this attack does not charge, so as soon as you see this attack start up, you can let go of the button and continue your combo. For teams, I'm recommending them based off of Harumasa being the main carry. There won't be any anomaly teams either. I know people have made teams with Harumasa in an anomaly team, but I personally have never tried them. And as you know, I don't recommend anything unless I've experienced it myself. If there's any good teams out there, let us know in the comments below. Harumasa's best team is with Chingy and Rina. Of course, she can replace Rina with Nicole and Chingy with Anby. But with how flexible his team passive is, you can pretty much pair him up with everyone. Kaleda and Lucy, Caesar and Lucy, Lycon and Sokaku, you name it. For the build, I recommend 4-piece Woodpecker and 2-piece Branch and Blade. If you pulled for Harumasa's signature, then instead of 2-piece Branch and Blade, I recommend rocking 2-piece Thunder Metal or 2-piece Puffer to avoid oversaturating your crit. For 1 to 3, focus on crit, attack, and pen. For 4 to 6, I recommend crit, electric damage over attack percent, and finally, attack percent. For W engines, Harumasa only has so many options, but thanks to the new event, he now has a new best in slot for free-to-play players. His signature, Herb Case, is his best in slot. It's a very simple but effective W engine that increases his crit rate by 10% and his dash attack's electric damage by 40%. Additionally, whenever an enemy is stunned or an ally applies an attribute anomaly, the wearer's crit rate is increased again by another 10% for 12 seconds. His second best is Marcado Desire. It's the first ever free W engine that comes with a crit rate main stat. Whenever an EX special or chain attack hits an enemy, the wearer's attack increases by 9.6% for 8 seconds. Additionally, if the enemy is affected by an anomaly, the buff is increased by another 9.6%. The Brimstone is next with its solid attack percent bonuses. After that, Drill Rig is your next best, but with its energy regen main stat, Harumasa's damage is going to seem a little lackluster whenever you are in dash attacking, so keep that in mind. Starlight Engine is the next best, being right behind Drill Rig. After all of those, the final W engine I would personally recommend is Gilded Blossom. Its attack buff is still pretty decent, but it gets overshadowed by the other W engines as it is just a stat stick and nothing else. Sure, the EX special buff is nice, but you won't be able to use it all that often. For Mindscapes, Harumasa's 2nd and 6th Mindscape are his most powerful ones. For his M1, the max stack limit of Electro Prison is increased to 14 stacks. When Electro Quiver is triggered, 2 consecutive Haoto no Ya will be fired at the target. His M2 allows Harumasa to gain 7 stacks of Electro Blitz when he uses a chain attack or ultimate. When you gain Electro Blitz, the damage of Harumasa's dash attack increases by 50%. On his M4, Electro Prison now lasts for 20 seconds, and Harumasa gains 30 decibels when he hits an enemy with his dash attack. Upon activating an ultimate, apply the max stacks of Electro Prison to all enemies. After a Haoto no Ya hits a stunned or an anomaly inflicted enemy, Harumasa will ignore 15% of the target's electric resistance for 12 seconds. Every 12 times an enemy is hit by this attack, you will trigger an explosion that deals massive damage. Overall, Harumasa is a solid DPS but is clearly overshadowed by Miyabi, but compared to all the other traditional units like Nekomata and Soldier 11, he's pretty good and maybe even the best out of all of them. That's all I have for today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
With pleasure. Face the consequences. Take a look. Are you ready, hand? Following orders. The pleasure's all yours.
For real this time. Clear mind. Arrows fly through.
Bye-bye, suckers. You asked for it.
For real this time.
Hold again. Here comes the first. Gotta run.
Break away in one hit.
The pleasure's all yours.
For real this time. Who's the pathetic one now?